Hello, Reese from the Point Music Podcast thingy. I've got a new setup right here. It's a little bit more sort of hands-free and no. I mean, you won't. If you're listening to this, you won't see it. But if you watch the actual visual podcast of it, you'll see that I've got a microphone thingy hanging down, and yeah, makes me look like a DJ. Anyway. Impromptu podcast this week because I was supposed to have another guest on, but they couldn't do it because they are sick. They don't have the corona. It's just they're sick. And instead, we have Joel AKA Mother Junkst from the incredible pirate metal dudes, Lagerstein. I've known about Lagerstein for a while, but I've never had a chance to see them, and I'm excited because I actually get to see them on April 3rd. I know this is going to date the podcast, but I don't care. April 3rd at the Bananda Bender Pub. AKA Aussie World, with Mules and which is my band, and Crave and All Hours and Minus Pinto, and I can't be more excited about an Easter weekend spent drinking beer, playing music, and listening to some pirates go absolutely bonkers on stage. So we talk about this. We talk about touring Europe and all sorts of other things. So strap in and enjoy the ride, ladies and gentlemen. This is Joel, aka Mother Junkst from Lagerstein. Hello.
Ahoy.
Ahoy. Joel.
Ahoy.
Mother Junkst from Lagerstein. Oh, I've been looking. Man, this is such a impromptu fucking thing. And I've been actually since we teed this up at roughly, 9 a.m. this morning, I've been looking forward to this. So I'm actually a little bit full of piss and vinegar, mainly piss, but more than vinegar. But yeah, that's.
Well, thank you so much for having me on the show. Always keen to jump on board.
Woo! How's band prep?
Yeah, so much fun. We are trying to do a really full high energy show, and we kind of went for a bit of the dress rehearsal energy tonight. Not in costume, but we were rocking it, having a lot of fun singing. So. Little mini party.
Kind of figured it'd be all high energy anyway, man. Like, seriously, I have not actually.
We have a sitting now and then.
So, say it again?
I've said we've been known to sit now and then. We can be lazy pirates.
Oh, really?
But also,
I don't believe that.
You got to rock it. Yeah. No, you heard it's true.
I don't believe
love to rock it.
Nah, it's not a pirate's life, man. Just sitting there. No way.
No, fuck no. It's an adventure life.
This isn't rum, by the way. I'm very sorry. It's bourbon, but it'll do.
I wouldn't say anything.
So we're here basically to talk about the fact that Lagerstein are actually coming to the Sunshine Coast on April 3rd. April 3rd?
Yes, that's correct.
Yep, I should know because I'm actually playing it, but yeah. Banana Bender Pub, April 3rd. Woo, keen.
Yeah, likewise. You know, this also, the gig, like the interview, has been a bit of a surprise. David from Hospital Entertainment got onto us and had this awesome idea for the show, and we have managed to bring it together, and I think it's going to be so much fun. Be our first time going up to the sunny coast since before COVID, basically.
When was the last time you were here?
I actually think it's been a little while. I was talking to the band about this, and I think it wasn't since 2018 maybe, when we were doing
was it Solva?
Yeah, we were doing like a Yeast Coast brewery tour, I think, at the time. We were going around to like microbreweries.
Sick.
So we haven't. And but yeah, because like 2019, we spent most of it away and just did shows in Australia, like in the capital cities.
Yeah.
And so I mean, the sunny coast has always been. I've never really been from the coast. No one in the band is from the coast, so it's awesome to meet some people who are keen to like help put on really great gigs there. And see that music's like can be awesome at the sunny coast that is coming back there. I'm really stoked.
Dude, you have no idea. We've got quite a few sort of venue opportunities coming up like in the next year or so. And one in particular is coming up in the next I'd like to say 2 months. So yeah,
I was reading about a new like kind of metal bar or rock bar, I think.
Yeah, that's 11.
I don't remember the name.
11.
Yeah, but it's fuck yeah. I think I was like reading the post they said about what kind of energy they want to bring to the bar, and it's like, oh, I got a party there.
Oh no, you'd fit right in.
Yeah, excellent.
And as far as I
That's
know,
really
like I'm not. Oh, well, the owner of Eleven's in one of the bands I play in, and he's friends with your drummer. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, awesome with Rusty. He
Yeah.
gets around.
Yeah.
So we'll get to catch up, have some beers at the gig then. That'll be
Exactly.
awesome.
No, we're keen. We're super keen for it. So you're basically doing these run of shows because you have a DVD CD combo thing coming out, which is the Live in Brisbane, which is I don't think I've ever seen anyone do a Live in Brisbane release like this. So this is cool.
We're super stoked. This was the last big show we did before all of the kind of capacity restrictions that came with COVID. We played at the Stupid. I mean, Brisbane's always been so good to us. It's our hometown.
Yeah.
The Lager crew was born there. So it was great to get to go to the Triffid and work with those guys to build this just awesome stage and be able to play just that show to all those people and capture it like we did. So I'm really pumped for everyone to kind of hear it as it comes out. This show at Aussie World is our next kind of attempt on a bigger stage to recreate that magic again.
Yeah.
We really want to bring this, just grow the Lagerstein show and be having way more of like a big party on stage, something super theatrical and like a bit of a spectacle. I think that people are really going to enjoy this DVD when they get their hands on it. A few have seen it when we did a bit of a premiere live stream of it. That was really well received. So I'm so grateful to everyone how much fun they're having with it.
So here's the question for you. Like, it's such a weird genre to be in the first place. I mean, you have Viking metal and all that sort of stuff. So pirate, I wouldn't call you guys metal, but you're basically in that realm. What was the idea of just like, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna do stuff that's pirate themed and play this kind of music, and we're gonna make it work.
With Lagerstein, when we were younger, because the band, we've been going for 10 years now, we were basically teenagers when we started, and we were into this really symphonic, like death metal at the time. And Lagerstein began as a little bit of a alternate band to our main bands. But since then, we've really just fallen in love with the awesome epic music you can create. And then that pirates, say, compared to other kind of fantasy things, they have this joking, fun aspect to them.
Yeah.
And for me personally, I just really love this sense of adventure, but having a party as you go. And that Lagerstein and the Pirates life has really come to embody just who we are and traveling around the world, partying with everyone. It's kind of grown into itself rather than any one moment where we're like, we're going to be pirates now.
Did you expect it to do that?
We had a little bit of pirate, a little bit of Viking, a little bit of just silly in the very proto Lagerstein days.
Yeah.
And then really enjoyed the pirate songs a lot. And we were all really big fans of Ailstorm back when we were starting the band. And kind of just, it clicked that our first singer, Ultralord, he was really keen to do that pirate, like the pirate thing fully. And we're like, okay, let's commit rather than being like 4 or 5 things at once. But at the time, going pirate, I didn't really feel it, like what it would mean to continue to make this music and see this show come to life the way it has. And I've really, like I said, like fallen in love with the kind of, I think the music and the genre is not limiting, but rather there's like a lot of freedom in it, because Lagerstein, our music, it's both this kind of fun element as well as kind of trying to touch on something that's for everyone, which is like, having good times with your friends, being yourself. And the music is fun to be able to explore this.
So, but it's also given you the ability to tour, like particularly Europe. I mean, I was just watching the Romania show that you did in 2019, which looked insane.
Yeah, that was very party time. I love Romania. Shout out. They looked after us.
It's such a, like, are they even surprised by some kind of like a pirate themed like heavy band from Australia to come through?
The Romanians, they were really blown away by it, actually. I think they had, because Lagerstein, it's like, we do the pirate, while we are pirates, I feel like it's so Lagerstein. We're just this explosion on stage, and they were, compared to like a lot of these European festivals that we played, we would often be not like playing with extreme metal bands at times and like these really serious bands, and then we just come out the partiest fucking boat
Without makeup, or much
And-
much makeup anyway.
exactly, and just beer bonging and shoeying, and like they haven't heard of shoeys, and they love it though. And oh man, we just had such a ball with them. So much fun.
I can't imagine these like extreme black metal bands or anything like that with the full like Swedish like face paint thing and just looking at you and they're just sitting, sipping a beer and just going, this is all right. We should probably play some pirate shit. We should probably think about that.
Yeah, maybe we need a little liquor too. Yeah, like we played this festival. It's one of my favorite festivals in Europe, actually, called Dark Troll. It's in the north of Germany, and it's really cool. It's like in the ruins of this 8th century castle. It like has all the walls around it and a big tower and stuff. And it's like this pagan metal, black metal kind of festival. But we managed to find ourselves on the lineup twice, and we had this really like awesome relationship with them there. But we're definitely, it's like all these serious bands, but they're like folky, Viking-y, and it's just like this one moment of just like explosive fun. And then we just run around that festival, all these like black metal serious dudes, and we like got the beer bong. We were playing the beer bong Olympics at Dark Troll in 2019, and we were going with, we had our Tunisian tour manager with us, and we were going around and counting which countries would do the most beer bongs.
Yeah.
And Australia won actually, but
That's
Italy,
no surprise.
no, Ireland was a close second.
Really?
very
Oh, well, the
competitive.
Irish I would understand. The Italians is kind of a bit of a surprise. I would have thought the Germans would have sort of outdone that.
Yeah, everyone was into it though. There were a ridiculous amount of beer bongs had over those 3 days.
But then the Europeans don't understand Australian drinking though too. I mean, like, I've toured the UK before, and we drank them out of fucking Jägermeister. They weren't ready for us, and basically we were coming back the next night, and they were going, we stocked up ready for you guys, and we drank them out of Jäger again, and we're like, yeah.
Yes. Oh, it's a great time in the UK though. They have awesome pub culture there.
Mm-hmm.
We've always had some.
I can't drink the beer there though. I don't know if you it didn't agree the water that they use in the
Did you
brewing
have
process?
any of the, they have like those, I don't know what they're called. They're like real ales.
Yeah.
And they're on the big pump.
Yep, that's what was.
Yeah,
that made my guts crook as.
Real ale. All the people in the UK are going to tell me I'm crazy, but I don't know about the real ales. They're a bit flat.
Yeah, there was this one when
No.
it was in Lancashire.
Respect the UK if they're into it.
It was when I was in Lancashire. They had this thing called, it was the Lancaster Bomber, and it was tasty as fuck. It was a great ale, but like it turned my shit orange. So I just had I just had to go. Nah, I'm stopping. I know this is too much information.
It should be on the wrapper, I reckon.
I just basically started drinking Heineken for the rest of the tour. That was the only beer apart from like the Foster's there, which is basically the Crown.
When we traveled around the UK, we were always very big fans of Wetherspoons, which is another kind of like blasphemy to anyone from the UK. But did you guys go to Wetherspoons?
Nah.
They always looked after us, and we were around those these ciders, man. The UK cidery place. But you guys never went to this chain of pubs throughout the UK?
No.
And they're kind of like the McDonald's of pubs almost.
Oh, really?
They're like all the same, but they're so sick because they're like this big old pub, and it's got like so many beers and so much like the breakfast and pub meals and stuff, but all the same. But that's why everyone from the UK, they're like, Wetherspoons, no fucking way, go to like a real pub.
Yeah.
But like, you know, like McDonald's, man, you can stay in McDonald's as long as you like. Wetherspoons. And when you're a touring band, sometimes you need to hole up, you know what I mean, on the street for a bit. And it's like, man. You know, Macca's doesn't serve beers. Should they?
I was actually going to go somewhere, and then I just lost my train of thought because all I was thinking was about beer. I've totally lost it. Totally lost it. I had like a whole like thing land out. Wait, hang on, I got to go to my notes here because sometimes I do that. Oh, 10 years.
10 years.
10 years to drinking beers and being pirates and shit.
Man, it's incredible to. I'm just so stoked with the journey. Like, we have done some incredible adventures with the band, and being there as Lagerstein's a real family, and it's just, and us with our fans as well. And I'm so stoked with like just all the amazing memories we've got to have touring and living overseas. I'm really looking forward to the future though, and the next 10 years, and making just more tunes and getting better at like what Lagerstein is, and bringing this just amazing fun to people all over the world.
So what would have been your one show, just one, just one, the one show that basically said, thank fuck I'm doing this?
Probably Barkin. Like, that was a festival that I had just always wanted to go to since I first got into heavy metal. And then, like, to get to go do it as an artist, it was just such a treat because I'd never been there before. And I really, and any of the festivals in Europe, though, as like just a massive metal fan and music fan, it's such a treat to get to go and play at these festivals and then see all these amazing acts that we don't really get to see in Australia. So I definitely miss it. I'm very keen for, well, kind of good luck to them. It's going to be interesting to see how the European kind of festival circuit and scene comes out of this. I think it'll be hard missing 2 whole seasons.
It'll come back, but it'll take another 2 years, I would say, before we start seeing any kind of sign of a decent touring festival going on. I mean, they're trying. I mean, America's trying, but Australia is the only safe place to actually have a festival right now. That's actually going to be like, you're not going to get shit.
We're so lucky here. But I think, you know, it's like there's challenges with what's going on, but everyone's been dealt this hand. I try to just be positive about it and think like, in some ways it allows you to focus on other things that you hadn't been focusing on before COVID. And it's really challenged us to, you know, how can we still connect with the Lager crew? How can we still bring them the music they want and that fun experience they want in other ways?
So what did you do in the time when we had to sort of like everything shut up? Because I know a lot of musicians basically some went into panic mode and didn't know how to react. Some went into basically super ultra creative mode, and all they did was just write and record, learn to record at home and produce and do shit, which is basically what I did. But I have a day job too, so whatever. And some actually just gave up. Yeah.
I mean, it was just really shocking for everyone, I think, at the time. Like with Lagerstein, we're kind of lucky because it's in our blood to be flexible. Like everything we do is done in-house, and we're really used to crisis solving. So we kind of hit the ground running with acoustic shows. We figured if you can only do little shows in smaller parties, we already had an acoustic show that we had done.
Yeah.
And we just built it out to be like more of a headlining event.
Oh, cool.
And they went awesome. Like, we did a string of them and they all sold out straight away. They were so much fun. The music, it lends itself to acoustic. It's kind of like a good pub sesh vibe.
Yeah.
And then also lately we've been really trying to just connect with our fans worldwide online and tell our more authentic story of just like what we're up to right now. And we're working on new music, or we're doing these shows in Australia. We have some kind of cool things planned for the overseas fans that we're going to announce soon. And really like we have a really cool group on Facebook called the Lagerstein Drinking Crew. And it's just been growing and growing through 2020 and now. And it's been an amazing place. We've been doing live stream events in there. We do party games. It's a great kind of home where we can hang out with some of our really core crewmates. And other than that, you know, also writing a lot of new music. Very keen for that. We got a video clip in the bag that we're kind of editing now. So once we finish this live album and that's all come out, we'll be just going straight forward with Lagerstein.
Sweet.
More music. Yeah.
So we're going to see
more shows.
We're going to see some of this new stuff at the show on Saturday. Following Saturday.
I think still keeping it secret for now.
All right.
But we'll be playing. It's, you know, every set list we try to do different. Actually, we're always mixing up the show.
Yeah.
There's so many fun songs. and we have a lot of gags. There's definitely a bit of a debate in the jam room what we'll play, and we're known to kind of we wing it like as we're going on stage. Someone's like, "Oh, can we do that?" I'm like, "All right, cross it out. We'll do it." All the audience screams one out. We're like, "All right," but that's a Lagerstein show. We want to be loose on our feet, it's pirates.
I really hate having to do the cull in your set list, and you're going through and just going, oh. Yeah, okay, this is the set that we got to do that's going to actually sort of like fit in with the rest of the stuff that's going on around us, okay? So we got to do this, and we sit there going, oh, but do we have to cross out that one? I really like that one, but yeah, it hurts when you have to cross out a favourite. I mean, I know, because we're used to doing, like, because Mules is supporting you guys on the Banana Bender thing, and we've only got half an hour to cram in some of that stuff, and one of the things that, because we put up that we've done a Man at Work cover, and then you guys are just gone, us too. And I was like, get fucked. So, which I'm guessing Land Down Under would be the one that you guys have done. It'd have to be, surely.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Well, what a banger it is. So you guys will be playing it? We should have a big Down Under party.
Yeah. Well, we should just invite Colin Hay, man, and just say, hey, dude, you can come along and see us wreck your songs.
Yeah. Yeah. Not once, but twice.
Yes.
If it wasn't good.
Well, yeah. I mean, a big supporter of Men at Work. I mean, it was actually my wife that's actually, she's more of a Men at Work fan than what I am. But when Aaron, the drummer of Mule's, just gone, you know what, we should do a Men at Work cover. I got an idea. We should do Overkill. And I just went, ooh, that's a big song.
Yeah.
And we have no guitarist in the band. It's just bass, drums, and vocals. So I had to learn how to do the fucking solo.
Nice.
That's awesome. Yeah, no. I just do it in my own way. There's some notes there that are familiar, and some notes you just go, yeah, fucking whatever. But,
it's happening on the beat.
Dude, it's a fun fucking song, and props to Colin Hay for writing something that's so... It's actually quite... When you listen to it, even though it's a simple song, it's actually quite technical.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes, it's like some things that they just sound good and so simple. We're like, oh, man, it's a lot of control to play.
So, Land Down Under, there's no flute. So, you doing that in guitar?
Yeah, guitar action. We got some brass happening.
Ooh.
String sections. Sounds epic as.
It's a big song, dude.
Yeah, no, it's been so much fun. Like, because we recorded Land Down Under on the last album, 25/7, when we were in Sweden. And we went and did the festival season kind of in the hype up to before the album came out. And it was awesome how many times, like, we had Down Under in our pocket. It wasn't released yet, but we were like promoting and hyping it. How many times, like, we heard people in Europe like playing the original Down Under in their campsites and stuff, like around the festivals. Like, oh, this is gonna be awesome. And then we released it and took it on the European tour and the Aussie one, and people just had so much fun. It's such a kind of well-renowned song. Yeah, everyone just sings it. It's pretty. Sounds nice, Down Under.
It's the unofficial, like, Australian anthem, really. Like, it's it's actually more sort of relevant than sort of like Advance Australia Fair, to be honest with you.
I'm definitely more a fan of one than the other.
Yeah, I mean, Gert is more of a pirate language than what Land Down Under is, but that's the only thing, man.
Yeah, I love it, and I mean that we are really proud of being Australians with Lagerstein, and that we get to, do our little bit to spread some of the sillier parts of Australian culture around the world. So, Huey's in Down Under.
Where did you record in Sweden though? Because that's pretty wild, man.
Yeah, so we were at Studio Fredman in Gothenburg. That's the studio of Fredrik Nordstrom. So he was kind of a bit of a band acquaintance. He'd come over and recorded in Australia. And we'd met him when he was there, like recording one of our friends' bands. But we were so stoked because Fredrik, he's worked with just so many of our favorite bands, like heaps of melodic death metal bands, In Flames and like Arch Enemy and stuff, all like that 90s scene. And we were always just such fans of so many of his albums. So with the third album, the band, it kind of felt we wanted to go away somewhere and take time off to just be recording.
Yeah. Because
there's so many parts and it's like just a really big emotional kind of thing. You're bringing your music to life. And when we did the second one, it was just such chaos, like going in little bouts. So when we kind of got onto Freddie and he suggested the idea. We were like, fuck yeah, let's go to Sweden. And it just turned into this mega trip where we went to Sweden for like 5 weeks and then moved to the Czech Republic and did festivals for 3 months and then did like a 40-day tour. We were over in Europe for so long, but it's such a good time. And like it all kind of began with like, go record that album. And it was funny because like we were talking to our publicists about the album before it was coming out, and like our marketing team and like how we were going to release it. And they're like, so you're going to like record it and then just go straight on tour. And it like comes out like 3 months later, like, how are you going to make it all fit? We're like, but we got to go in that time because otherwise we're going to like, we can't be away for like a year and a half in Europe or something. And looking back on it, like that was some crazy shit, but it happened. And it was just such a party. Met so many amazing people.
Were you getting like mixes on the road or something like that? Is that what was happening? Like you just basically did your parts and then put the mix in his hands?
Basically, yeah. Like we did a bit of a mix. There were a couple of days after. There's so many instruments because we got like all live brass in to record and just everything live. And so by the time we were leaving Sweden to go start, actually like that Dark Troll Festival was pretty much at the start of it. We still were mixing, and then we were based in a city called Brno in the Czech Republic.
Mm-hmm.
And we used like our home there as our bit of home base, and then we're bouncing around Europe to the different festivals, and then we drive back and chill out at home for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Go back out on the road. So yeah, we're kind of doing the whole business there, basically, like releasing the album, doing all the tours in the van, and then in Czech Republic for 2 days, and then in the van again. It was chaos.
A lot. It's hard for like Australians that have never been over to Europe to actually fucking fathom this, that you can actually just go to another country and within 2 days driving.
Yeah, that's what I always think, because you're like, oh, it's so far. Like, especially the Europeans are like, Australia, that's so far. I don't think I could ever go there. And I'm like, it takes like 2 days, man. And you're like, there, you blink, and it's done. Yeah, you're there.
It's like when I was in the UK, it was weird. I remember being in Lancaster staying at a hotel. We'd played there, and that was our home base for like a few days. And we heard rumors of this jazz club, this legendary jazz club that was in Lancaster. And we asked for directions to it, and we'd already done like a bit of a surveillance around the town. And like Lancaster's like it's a city, but it's not massive. And we asked the staff there at the hotel. They're just going like, "Where's this jazz club?" And they said, "Oh, okay. So you know this road here, and you turn left, and then you get to McDonald's, and you turn right, and then you go down this alleyway here." And I went, "Yeah, we were there this afternoon." And they said, "Yeah, you'll have to catch a cab." And we're like, "That's literally a 5-minute fucking walk." I'm like, "Yeah, you'll have to catch a cab." It's like, no, just
I'll see that.
Walk. I mean. Wow, like I had lay day and I took time off with my drummer at the time, and we went from Lancaster to Liverpool, stayed at Liverpool overnight because it's Liverpool and we wanted to see the Beatles special stuff, and he's a Reds fan. So. Yeah, and then we went from Liverpool to Wales, and then the same within 3 hours we're in Ireland. This shit, like,
it's amazing.
Yeah, we can't fathom this in Australia.
Like, but no, you can't. Like, I mean, Australia, the cities are so far apart. But I mean, it just breeds character. Then when it came time to do all these crazy drives around Europe, we were just so used to it as Lagerstein, because we've always driven to Sydney, to Melbourne, to Adelaide so many times. And that's basically the whole continent of Europe.
Yeah, I know. Sydney to Melbourne's 3 countries already.
Yeah. Like the longest drive we did in Europe, though, we drove from like the far eastern side of Romania to Paris.
Yeah.
And that was like basically in the Ukraine. It took like 3 days, and it was just like one long ass drive. Saw a lot of pretty places though.
Oh yeah, you would have been going up all sort of mountain ranges and shit. Weird villages and lots of goats and stuff.
Yeah, and the roofs, they just change slightly as you get closer to France.
They get steeper and steeper as you get along, right?
Basically.
Yeah. And you mentioned Alstorm earlier, and that's the other pirate band that actually comes to mind for me. Have you guys toured with them?
Yeah, we've done actually quite a lot of shows with those guys. I think over 40 now.
Whoa.
We did a trip around Europe with them 1 year, and then the UK another time, and Australia together. Um, as well as like that was in the last time we played with them on a tour was in 2015.
Wow.
So when we were doing the first album mostly,
Yeah.
that was our real first taste of getting overseas and being on tour was with Ailstorm. So I'm always so grateful to those guys because they got us out there and showed us like what it's like to be a really pro band.
Mm.
And we got to run into them a few times actually on the festival circuit, which was just so sick.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you do these tours and then the festivals, you just have all your friends there. And they make such hilarious music. They also had an incredible impact around the world. But you know, the pirate music actually in Europe, it's going awesome.
Well, there's a whole pirate festival in UK, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was. And like as you just travel around, man, you run into these different pirate bands, these pirate fans, and you're like, oh, that's so cool. Like I remember in 2013, 12, not seeing any bands, and then being over there in 2019, you're like, fuck yeah, the pirate seed is growing.
But why? What?
Yeah.
What?
Fully ahoy.
What is the catalyst? Is like fucking all of a sudden people just like Pirates of the Caribbean, or they basically, man, it's such a niche thing to actually just go, you know what, we're gonna be a pirate metal band, and all of a sudden there's a whole pirate fest.
I kind of feel like, you know, music right now though, and metal is just going through this massive like proliferation of all sorts of music.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's just amazing in say like the last decade and this decade coming. I think there's just going to be more of everything. I think metal always has had this room for this really epic and storytelling. And like, if Vikings, why not telling stories about other people? And, you know, some metal, it's like, I think of metal, it's always about extremes. It's got to be the heaviest, whether it's the fastest or then it has to be the slowest. It's like, it's always got to be the most.
Yeah.
And I think like pirate metal is like, it's metal as fuck because it's about being like the most fun. And it's like just extreme in that way that it's like, it's metal, but it's like really flipping that on it. Like instead of serious, we're going to be just fun as hell and have the best time.
That's what like a lot of people don't understand, because I actually spent probably 16 years of my life playing in sort of like metal bands and alt metal bands and that sort of stuff before I started playing reggae, because I'm in a reggae band as well as playing in like mules and also an indie sort of alternative band.
I love reggae, man.
But
big fan.
A lot of people don't realize that the majority of metalheads out there are the most fucking down to earth sweethearts that I've met. Some are actually just too extreme, and we won't get into that, but the majority of metalheads I know are actually just incredible. Just they do everyday things, and people think they were just like out there slaughtering goats and fucking praying to the devil, and it's not that at all.
We do have a little bit of a bad PR issue at times.
It's getting there.
You know, I think that it's definitely getting there, and that, you know, metalheads, they're just obviously people, and I think that metal becomes this amazing opportunity for people to experience community and to dance together and have an awesome time with their friends. And I think that that's why pirate metal and just pirate music in general is becoming so popular with people, because it's like, you know, you can kind of throw away some of the conceit and be like, you know, I don't care. I'm just going out to have fun with my friends, and we're going to dance, and we're going to yo-ho-ho and swig some rum and sing some songs. And that's kind of this carefree fun that people can really just enjoy.
People are losing sight of the whole rebelliousness of like rock and roll and metal in its purest forms. And right now is the time for us to be embracing this. I mean, all right, so something came up in the last few days, and it's been made more apparent the further we go along, is that hip hop is basically the penultimate music genre right now. Okay, and we never, I never saw it coming, to be honest with you. I thought it was just gonna be pop all the time, but hip hop is. They've started embracing pop punk. I mean, they already embraced emo 4 or 5 years ago. You listen to all the trap SoundCloud dudes, and they're all emo. And now it's pop punk, and now pop is embracing pop punk. So the only transition from that now is to go and borrow stuff from metal. We'll see that in the next 3 years. That's my prediction for the next 3 years. You'll start seeing metal elements being introduced into hip hop. I mean, yes, you got body count and all that shit, but
it's like hip hop music, and even some of the hip hop that's in the mainstream, it does have like this extreme element to it at times. That it's like, because metal, you could argue in some way was originally made out of a desire to shock people, like looking at some of these really proto metal bands, that they're being like extremely theatrical and over the top to like just make people go like, oh wow, that was a powerful experience. And I think it's a bit the same with you know, a lot of these hip hop artists, that they're pushing your expectations of like what a song should be about or like. It's kind of extreme, I think.
Yeah, borrowing from the idea from it and twisting it to what they need. I mean, like I said, Body Count did that years ago. I mean, we already saw a convergence of metal and hip hop in the 90s when you had Anthrax meets Public Enemy, I think it was. Like all that sort of stuff, and not getting into the new metal thing, even though I love new metal, but we're not getting into that. It's more using the same way as that hip hop and pop borrowed from reggae like 10 years ago, and they still actually using it, yet they won't acknowledge, people still won't acknowledge reggae. This pisses me off, actually. That
you reckon reggae, it doesn't get its voice?
It doesn't, man, because you talk to anyone in the general public, they name more than one reggae artist, and the only reggae artist they can think of would be who?
I guess Mr. Bob, right?
Exactly. All right.
Yeah.
And there's so much more out there. Besides, it wasn't reggae that started. You got back to ska and rocksteady and that sort of stuff. Man, I had a massive conversation with Nicky Bomber about it. And
I'm insane about reggae. Like, I'd say last year was my year of reggae. I was just getting into the music so hard. Yeah. Especially like Steel Pulse is that they've become just my favorite reggae band.
Damn, man, that's a big name.
Yeah. That especially the first album of theirs. No, their first 3 albums, I was going crazy about them. But I don't know what it is. I really fell down a reggae hole. It was my most listened to music genre on Spotify.
Really?
Smashing that.
God, I love this because most of the time, because I play in a reggae band, but most people think I listen to a lot of reggae. I don't. I listen to more metal than I do reggae.
Yeah. I love that. No, I'm absolutely slamming it. Like, but also I love to listen to all sorts of music, but especially reggae. You know, what I really love about reggae music, and I think has connected with me so much, is that, and this is going to get pretty out there for some heavy metal listeners, whatever, but I think that it's cool how reggae music, it's like singing about this sense of like universal love.
Yeah.
And I feel like universal love isn't covered that much in heavy metal. There's like, we have like some other kinds of things in metal, but I don't think there's much metal about like just the raising of all mankind as brothers and sisters and like being kind of there. It's quite spiritual music, reggae at times. And I like this.
I've actually compared it a lot more to punk, to be honest with you, because it's also been very much a rebellious kind of music. And
it is,
it's just whereas punk is on the double time and
especially like Steel Pulse, as an example, I really get that rebellion. They are like, it's a statement, that music.
Yeah.
But underneath it is like, it's about peace, I think.
It's unity.
And I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. But a lot of heavy music is the same sort of thing. But like you have mixtures of the two. I mean, one of my favorite metal and reggae band merged together is Skindred. I don't know if you've listened to Skindred much, man, but they are incredible.
I've heard of them, but I haven't actually listened to their music. Yeah.
Welsh band, man, and they're reggae metal, and they're incredible. Particularly if you listen to the earlier albums, and they have acoustic stripped back versions of it, and you just go, wow. I wouldn't think that would work, but it does.
Yeah, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I saw them at Soundwave, actually. Fuck, I missed that festival. Yeah, I think it was the last Soundwave I actually went to. It was Skindred, they followed Filter, and I was like, I can't do any better than this. Too incredible. You got to check out the Lagerstein song, Pina Colada Paradise. This is our reggae song. Oh, really?
I think you'll enjoy it. Yeah.
All right.
After the listen,
I've got to do this.
Most likely we'll be playing that at the gig, but I think give it a listen. That one really grooves down.
Joel, we've just about hit the 38. Well, we just hit the 38-minute mark, so we'll wrap it up here. That way we've
Fantastic.
got plenty of time to go through and talk shit afterwards. But April 3rd, Banana Bender Pub, Lagerstein, Mules, Crave, all hours, and minus Pinto. Should be a pretty big Easter weekend, man.
I can't wait for us to get there, be having some beers, and see this killer stage. You know, Aussie World and Banana Bender Pub. I've driven past that place so many times. I'm stoked, like Varkin, that I get to go to the pub for the first time to play. Yeah. It's going to be a party.
It's good food there too. And I actually work like literally a minute down the road from there.
Convenient.
Yeah, not really, because I got to come home.
Great chat.
Oh, good, man.
Keen for the party, keen for the gig.
Just stand alone a little bit and I'll do a little bit of debrief with you. But everyone else, ladies and gentlemen, Joel, Mother Junkst, Lagerstein.
Thanks, guys.
I sincerely hope you enjoyed that podcast because that was a hell of a lot of fun. Big thanks to Joel for jumping in at, like, literally we organized this at 9 a.m. this morning. It is now nearly 10 o'clock tonight. Takes a lot to organize a podcast on the last minute thing. Like, I know, again, this is going to date it, but if you're listening to us pre-April 3rd, get your tickets to see Lagerstein at Banana Bender Pub because it's going to be so piratey and yar. I'm keen. I can't wait for this one. You can get your tickets. I'll actually put the links in the tickets to the thing, the video. Sorry if you listen to this on the audio bit because you won't see it, but the video thing, the tickets will be there. Thank you for supporting local music. We've got another podcast coming. I'm actually taking a week off next week because I need one. But the week after that, believe it or not, we are celebrating 1 whole year of doing this podcast since the dreaded Corona struck and shut down everything. I can't believe it. And I do have a very special guest in store for that one and a few other surprises. So I guess you'll just have to wait till then to find out. Until then, thank you for supporting local music, live music, Australian music, all sorts of music. I love you guys. You guys are legends. Cheers.